Hello and welcome to Sneaky Stories, home of short stories you can sneak into your day. Get ready to go on an adventure with some of the Sneaky Universe characters. Today we have a story from the Monicow series. My name is Pauline and I'm your storyteller, and I can't wait to share today's story with you. Remember, there aren't any pictures, so you'll need to imagine them. You can imagine the pictures any way you like.
Just in case you missed it last week, Monicow had been on a late-night stroll reminiscing about the time she rescued a possum that had escaped from the zoo. I'll start with the last paragraph we heard last week. Midnight Mischief, Part 2. The zookeeper nodded vigorously. "We will, I promise." Monicow chuckled fondly at the memory animals sometimes outsmarted humans. As she turned around the corner near the town's television studio, she noticed something strange. The lights in the television studio were on. Monicow knew that there was no filming scheduled for that night, so she decided to investigate. She activated her roller hooves and quickly rolled to the studio. Inside, she saw the towering special effects figure of King Maximus, flanked by his bumbling henchmen, wrestling with the studio's oversized special effects machines. The air buzzed with chaos as the henchmen fumbled with the controls, inadvertently setting off bursts of sparks and swirling smoke. "Fools!" King Maximus bellowed, his voice echoing off the studio walls. "We must prove to the world that I am the strongest, the mightiest. Once this airs, no one will doubt me." Monicow watched from the shadows, her utility bell jingling softly as she considered her options to manage the situation. King Maximus was notorious for his over-the-top displays of power, but hijacking a television studio to shoot an advertisement about his supposed strength, this was a new low. Monicow raised an eyebrow and snorted softly. Typical Maximus, she thought, always seeking validation through flashy theatrics. One of the henchmen, a scrawny guy with a crooked mustache, yanked a lever, causing a giant fan to whirl to life. A gust of wind knocked him flat on his back. Monicow stifled a laugh. This was no time for amusement. King Maximus's antics could escalate, and if they got their hands on the right special effects, who knows what kind of trouble they could stir up. With a deep breath, Monicow stepped out from her hiding spot, the soft clop of her heels alerting the henchman. "Hey, Maximus," she called, her voice strong. "What's this about?" King Maximus spun around. "Monicow," he sneered, his eyes narrowing. "What are you doing here?" "I was just passing by," Monicow said, "but it looks like you're up to no good, as usual. Breaking into a TV studio to boost your ego, that's a new one." Maximus puffed out his chest. "This isn't about ego," he snapped. "It's about showing the world who's boss. And with these special effects, everyone will see me as the strongest man alive." Monicow tilted her head, eyes gleaming with amusement. "Special effects, huh? You know that strength doesn't come from tricking people into thinking you're strong, right?" King Maximus faltered for a moment, clearly thrown by Monicow's calm demeanour. He glanced at the machines around him and at his henchmen, who were struggling to get things under control. "Enough talk," he barked. "Once I'm done, no one will question me again." Monicow sighed. "All right, Maximus, you've had your fun. It's time to shut this down before you make a fool of yourself." With a swift, graceful movement, Monicow charged forward, her powerful hooves clattering on the studio floor. She deftly dodged a falling camera stand and reached the control panel, flipping switches and shutting down the machines before King Maximus could react. Smoke cleared, the fan stopped, and the lights dimmed as the studio fell silent. Maximus, now deflated and standing amidst the mess, clenched his fists. "You always ruin everything," he growled. Monicow stood for a moment, surveying the studio, now in a chaotic mess of overturned lights and scattered props. Maximus' henchmen exchanged sheepish glances, clearly unsure of what to do next. Maximus himself remained frozen, fists clenched at his sides. He glared at Monicow, nostrils flaring as if searching for some final words of defiance, but nothing came. "Please make sure you leave the studio the same condition in which you found it," Monicow reminded them as she turned to leave. "I'll be back in an hour to check." Her hooves echoed with each step as she made her way toward the exit. King Maximus stood there, his chest rising and falling with slow, steady breaths. He didn't move, just watched as Monicow disappeared into the shadows. With a final glance around the dishevelled studio, the henchmen started to clean their mess, mumbling amongst themselves. Maximus sighed, his shoulders slumping as he left the grand stage of his failed spectacle behind and started to make his way to the exit to get back to his palace. Outside, the cool night air greeted Monicow as she trotted down the street.
If you would like a free Sneaky Universe colouring and activity book, visit www.sneakyuniverse.com/Sneaky Stories Podcast. Sneaky Stories is a Sneaky Universe production. Written, hosted and edited by Pauline Malcoon. The music is by Trailer Works. If you would like more stories, visit www.sneakyuniverse.com.